Imagine saving decades for retirement, consistently putting away money to ensure that your life after work is better than you could have possibly imagined, only to find out that a few wrong assumptions put everything at risk. Unfortunately, it happens all the time, and most people don't even see it coming. Today, I'm going to share the 9 assumptions that could potentially derail your retirement. And make sure you stick around until the end, where I'll provide you with a link to a free resource, which can help you avoid these assumptions and help you create the dream retirement you always wanted. It's a great resource and can be yours absolutely free. Okay, so let's get right into it. Assumption number 1, I'll spend less during retirement. It's easy to think that you'll spend less in retirement. Without having to go to work, imagine how much money you would save in commuting costs, like gas and tolls, lunches, clothing, etc. You'll have more energy to cook and eat meals at home rather than going out. But many people actually spend more in retirement by filling free time with travel, going out with friends, and just enjoying hobbies. In fact, retirement is commonly broken down into 3 segments: the go-go years, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. Make sure you are realistic about your spending assumptions. Create a spending plan designed around what you want to spend and not what you think you should spend. Assumption number 2, my healthcare costs will be covered by Medicare. A recent study by the Employee Benefit Research Institute indicated that some couples may need as much as $428,000 in savings to meet their healthcare costs during retirement. That is a staggering amount. Will that be everyone's cost? No. But it does highlight the fact that even though retirees will have access to Medicare after age 65, they will still need to have a significant amount of savings to cover healthcare costs during retirement. Assumption number 3, I can just work longer if I needed to. In theory, this is a reasonable backup plan, but in reality, about half of retirees leave work earlier than expected, often because of health issues, layoffs, or family needs. It's smart to plan for the possibility of an earlier retirement, even if you're feeling great today and enjoy the work you are currently doing. Assumption number 4, the markets will always recover. Markets do bounce back, but timing matters. Between the years of 2000 and 2010, the S&P 500 experienced what was coined the lost decade. As you can see by this chart, it took close to 10 years for the S&P 500 to return to the level that it was at its high in 2000. Now, this may have been an unusual period of time as it was bookended by 2 once-in-a-generation, if not once-in-a-lifetime, crises: the tech wreck of 2000 and the global financial crisis of 2008. But that kind of performance is possible, and this can be a sobering thought. If a market crash hits early in your retirement and you're withdrawing money at the same time, it can permanently shrink your nest egg, as the funds you have withdrawn will not participate in the growth of the rebounding market. This type of risk is called sequence of return risk, and it can have a profoundly negative impact on your returns if you don't plan ahead. Assumption number 5, Social Security will be enough. Social Security will most likely not be enough to live on. In fact, the Social Security Administration estimates that Social Security will only cover about 40% of your pre-retirement earnings, at best. So don't assume that Social Security will cover enough of your costs during retirement, because it wasn't designed to do that, and it most likely won't. Assumption number 6, inflation won't affect me too much. Even low inflation eats away at your purchasing power over a 20 or 30-year retirement. In fact, at a relatively low inflation rate of 3%, prices double roughly every 24 years. Periods of high inflation can exacerbate this even more. So don't just assume that inflation will be low. Assumption number 7, my taxes will be lower in retirement. While this is a reasonable assumption, it may not always be the case. Required minimum distributions, or RMDs, from pre-tax retirement accounts, pensions, investment income, and Social Security income can all work together to push you into higher tax brackets. This is particularly true for people with large pre-tax retirement accounts, as RMDs as a percentage of your balance increase with your age. Also, many retirees don't realize they might lose deductions like mortgage interest and pay more taxes on Social Security and IRMA. Also, when one spouse dies, the standard deduction can be greatly reduced, meaning even more of your retirement income could be subject to tax. So while anecdotally one may assume taxes might be lower in retirement, the facts don't always bear it out. Assumption number 8, I won't live that long. People are living longer today thanks to advances in medical care, improved nutrition, better hygiene, and greater awareness of healthy lifestyle choices. Vaccines, early disease detection, and effective treatments have significantly reduced mortality from many illnesses that once shortened lifespans. So even if your parents didn't live too long, don't assume that you won't. Number 9, the 4% rule says that I'm fine. Generic rules of thumb, like the 4% withdrawal rule, are great in theory, but they might not fit your unique situation, especially with rising healthcare costs, longer lifespans, and volatile markets. If any one of these assumptions sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. And the good news is, with a little planning, you can avoid these common pitfalls. Customize your retirement income plan based upon your personal goals, health, and risk tolerance. What works for the many may not work for you. As I mentioned earlier, here is a link to my free 8-step retirement plan roadmap. Please download a copy and create your retirement plan that is unique to you. Retirement should be exciting, not stressful, and it all starts with having the right expectations and a solid plan. I did another video on the 7 questions you should be able to answer if you are ready to retire. You can find a link to that video here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.